These are the tools that are going to be required to remove and replace the fork seals on a 1983 Yamaha XT 550. They only made this bike for 1 year. The 1982s were the same bike but a different color, so I'm sure it'll work for the 82s. I don't know about any other year. You need a 10mm socket to remove the 4 bolts on the side that holds the axle. You need a 12mm to loosen the trees so the fork tubes will eventually slide out. You need a 22mm to remove the axle bolt from the front tire. 10mm Allen or hex bit to remove the plug at the bottom of the front forks. A number 2 Phillips to drain the front forks. I did not have the metric equivalent, but it's a 1 1/16 inch to remove the air valve at the top of the forks near the speedometer. 12mm to remove the brake line from the front brake drum. Needle nose pliers to remove the speedo cable from the front brake drum. Also, this is a homemade valve holder, not valve, but whatever is inside of the front forks. It's a 1/2 inch bolt welded to a nut, which is welded to a piece of 1/2 inch pipe. The 1/2 inch bolt goes into the pipe. The pipe comes down to the nut. I put a spot weld on both sides of it, and that will eventually go into the lower fork tube so that you can remove it. These are the bikes that we're working on. They've already been disassembled, and I can show you this for reference. These 4 bolts need the 10mm. These bolts need the 12mm. They will loosen the front forks from the tree. The 1 1/16. Before you remove the forks, just break these loose while they're still clamped so that you can loosen them. I took out 4 of them. 1 of them was stuck. Need the needle nose pliers to remove the cotter pin from the inside of the brake assembly. You need the box wrench to loosen the brake here, and the needle nose pliers to take the little clip that holds the speedo cable in back here. This bike does not have one. This is a parts bike. The speedo cable is on here, and you can see the little retaining ring. You just pinch these 2 together with your needle nose pliers and wiggle and jiggle till this comes out. I did use a little penetrating oil. And keep me out of it. Use the 12mm and remove the pinch bolts from the trees. Those are loose. Take the fork out. Take the air valve off. It's spring loaded. Put that off. Take the spacer out. Dump any extra oil. These can't go in wrong. All you gotta do is look at the picture. off the dust boot. Inside the little retaining clip, use a screwdriver. And inside the fork is this. We're going to line this up with that inside the fork to hold it. And then using a 10mm hex, wiggle it till you feel it touch. There it is. Ah. Sometimes they're a little tight. Okay, you know how to pause that? So I remounted the axle so that we could loosen this without everything spinning. Yeah. Little Jasper's tight. There we go. Now let's see if this will work. Now that's out. Now to remove the fork seal, use the entire fork on the slide hammer. And it should have popped out and it didn't. So now we're going to use a screwdriver. Alright, put that on pause.